They'll sell you out in 2 seconds. You will pay a brutal price for that. Never do that. Never. Never, never, never. They loved their lifestyle.
Yeah.
They went to zero. You must be ready to absolutely write that off, because there's a 50-50 chance you will.
What's up, you guys? It's Graham here, and well, I never thought this would happen. A year ago, I started my second channel, The Graham Stephan Show, where I randomly reacted to a series on CNBC Make It called Millennial Money, which follows the financial lives of millennials and breaks down their spending habits. In a totally unexpected turn of events, those videos ended up getting enough views for CNBC Make It to actually take notice. And after a few months, they invited me to be a guest on the series I loved so much, Millennial Money. But if I thought things couldn't possibly get any better than that, I was wrong. CNBC recently posted an episode of Millennial Money where they had none other than Kevin O'Leary reacting to my spending habits and giving me his advice on how I could improve. So I responded to Kevin O'Leary in a follow-up video, and then at the end of that video, I made him an offer.
The airport.
You're kidding.
Yeah.
When?
That was taken about 8 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're kidding. You
Going
were
back.
just a spring chicken.
I was traveling back from Toronto, seeing
Yeah.
family.
Yeah.
You were in the airport traveling.
Yeah.
And I was pointing to my dad, like, that's Kevin O'Leary. And he was telling me to go take a picture, but I didn't have I was so nervous.
That's great.
So then I think you were about to get in the car, and I
Yeah.
figured this is my last chance to do this.
Is this LAX?
Yeah, this is LAX.
Probably coming in to shoot Shark Tank.
Yeah. Your initial reaction to me on Millennial Money was that I was a dick.
You know, I just started watching. I thought, this guy's going to be a dick.
Yeah.
Why?
I just, I mean, the way that was set up was, watch this video, and I thought, this guy's going to be a dick. And I just thought, and then the more I listened to what you were saying, I said, hey, he's saying some things that I agree with around portfolio analysis, around, budgeting, around understanding burn rate. And by the time that was over, I said, no, not a dick. Like, the guy knows, I agree with what he's talking about.
So I want you to, the whole thing was a cash deal. I was all in $71,500.
You couldn't get credit at that time?
Right, I didn't have a credit card.
Right.
So no bank wanted to give a 21-year-old a loan because I had no credit history.
Okay, so right there is an important lesson, and I tell every millennial, even though I don't endorse credit cards, it's very hard to advance your credit rating without having one. Mm-hmm. So it's good to get a credit card, put maybe $1,000 limit on it, and then start paying off, use $200 a month and pay it off every month. So I told my son, as soon as he could get one, Trevor, put $50 on the card.
Yep.
And pay it off. Mm-hmm. And now he's got a pristine credit rating, and he's only ever put a few $1,000s through the card.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody should understand that. There's no way to game that system. You've got to establish a credit rating, or you can't borrow.
Yep.
Property 2, purchase 2012, cash again, $72,000. 8,000 renovation. Okay, so now you're 80,000 in the hole. Rent $1,200 a month, net $900 after costs, right?
Yep.
And rent $2,145 per month after cost $1,500, worth $400,000 today. So that's a really significant bump.
Yeah.
But you got to admit, you've benefited from the appreciation of this one asset class, real estate, as interest rates went down.
Correct.
So there is an inherent risk of concentration here. Your entire net worth is only in real estate so far.
Yep.
Okay, that's an issue. Property 4, purchase 2016. $780,000. You must have used debt.
I did.
$60,000 reno on top of it. Out of pocket $210,000. That's your principal down payment plus
renovation.
Okay, that's good. That's also a great investment. But now we've brought leverage into the portfolio.
Yes. This is the one that you saw. This is the one that I was house hacking on that you thought was a good idea.
Yeah, 585, loan 620. Wait a sec, you borrowed more than the purchase price?
Because I did a cash out refinance.
Yeah.
So what I did is I fixed this place up. I put about...
If the poo-poo hits the fan and values go down across any asset class, including real estate, you still owe that $1 million.
Correct.
So you got to start being sensitive to how much debt you want to bring into your world. A lot of people don't understand how debt can put you out of business if things go bad.
Of course.
You have to be ready to pay that $1 million off at any time. A great analogy. I met a very, very wealthy real estate developer in New York that came over with nothing from Europe when he was young, when he was 18 years old. He's a multi-billionaire now. And each time he bought a building, he did apartments. He would call it either a pasta or a protein building. And I said, what does that mean? He said, well, I start with my first building, and I would take a lot of debt down, and I would get the rent roll up so I was 100% leased out, and I would only eat pasta until I paid off all the debt. I said, really? He said, yeah, because it was just my wife and I, and we had all this flow to buy new buildings. But he never went bankrupt because he never extended himself so far that the protein buildings couldn't pay off the mortgages, of the pasta buildings.
Right.
You get the analogy, right?
My thought has always been the interest rate is so low, fixed for 30 years, cash flow sustains it.
Yeah.
And between the write-offs and maybe inflation, maybe we don't see it, but either way, the worst case for me has always been a break even on the interest rate that I'm paying.
So, okay, we go on here.
Okay. So this is property number 6.
Yeah, 6
This is another duplex.
Everyone is going up.
Yes.
Like we're spending more,
Yes.
we're putting more debt on. This is 815,000 loan 680. So there's a little equity from day one, right?
Right.
3.625, very good. Down payment 115,000, worth 965.
Yep.
Okay, so that's good.
And all of these, by the way, are rented under market value.
I get it. But how long are the leases for?
1 year.
And so do you get to bump it up?
Yeah, so this is where I am living now.
Okay. Loan, this is your primary residence.
Yes.
That's where you got the 2.875 rate.
Correct.
Now at the end of this journey, what is your total debt nut across all the buildings?
About 2.9.
Okay, I'm just saying that would start to make me nervous. Just not because it isn't well invested. That's a big number. Like a lot of it, can you take the hit? Just look at it that way.
Yeah.
Can you pay down, $3 million?
Yes.
As long as you can say yes to that, you can continue to do this. But the minute you get so levered up that you can't find $15 million, I don't have any debt. I've got to a point in my life where I just don't like debt. So I buy things for cash, and I understand why debt works in this model, assuming the rental market remains buoyant. But it comes a point in your life, and you're still too young, I don't want any obligation to anybody.
But don't you...
I would never want to wish that on anybody because it is a horrible thing to happen. And the only reason it happened to them is they didn't respect debt. You're being disciplined. You're buying assets that have income. They were buying boats and cars and watches and getting divorced. They loved their lifestyle.
Yeah.
They went to zero. You have to respect debt, and you do. This makes sense to me, but again, I go back to that guy in New York, protein building, pasta building, and the whole idea of respecting how debt can rip your life apart. But so far I don't see any crazy. You're not using debt to buy stupid stuff.
Right.
That's basically what's going on here.
All right, so this now is since your video.
He's got a little bit more to go in terms of diversification. He wasn't at 10 because he didn't diversify enough.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to see that because I never let one asset class ever become more than 20% of my net worth. Clearly, real estate still remains more than 20% of your net worth. One of your goals should be
The app, so I could give it a shot.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Cash, 320.
That's within the stock market brokerage.
Yeah.
It's not all cash, just so I continually buy into the market.
The discipline is every 90 days to trim back anything over 5% and put it into something else that you've decided to go into. What happens to portfolios like this that aren't, it's like trimming a hedge. No sector more than 20%, no stock more than 5%. You've got 3 stocks here over 5. You give up some of the upside, but when the correction hits, like a Tesla rolls over and goes down 38%, you don't take the full hit because you've taken profit out on the trimming.
I'm worried about taxes.
Yeah,
because my thought is 50%.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, that's the biggest mistake you can make in your life is to worry about taxes. The fact that you have to worry about taxes is a wonderful thing. It means you're making money. But to say, oh, I don't want to sell, a stock that's now 11% of my 12-month CD, 200,000 cash, but you need this to make deposits on real estate. What is cash for your total net worth? How much cash do you have versus your entire net worth?
So cash would be about 30%.
That's healthy.
Cash,
That's healthy. I actually have more than 30% in cash.
Really?
Yeah. I've had some exits in real estate recently. I sold my commercial real estate, and I'm going to wait until I see what the economy looks like in 36 months to go back in. But as a result, I'm sitting on a ton of cash.
This is a really exciting one. I don't know if I can mention this in the video because I haven't announced it yet, but I put a company called, they're a startup, valued at
I've learned from Shark Tank, because this is a Shark Tank investment type thing, you must be ready to absolutely write that off.
Yep.
Because there's a 50-50 chance you will. It'll be a tax loss for
Yep.
you. Very few people can achieve this. I didn't achieve it when I was 30. That's really, really hard to do. And the reason I did this without knowing who you were, I'd say, this guy has too much real estate.
Okay.
And so, but if real estate is who you are, so I get it. But all your maneuvering now should be raise more cash, buy more diversity, maybe a little more conservative. My portfolio of, I probably have 1,000 stocks, but the majority of them all pay me, and they pay me monthly. So I have a really strong cash flow every month, and my biggest problem is what do I do with the cash? And that's how I buy watches.
There we go.
You gotta get him to say smash the like.
Oh, yeah. Destroy the like. You gotta say destroy the like button for the YouTube algorithm.
The like button?
Yes, destroy the like button for the YouTube algorithm.
And one last thing, you've got to remember to destroy let's try it again. The like button.
Destroy the like button for the YouTube algorithm.
One more thing, you've got to remember to destroy the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Do it.
And subscribe.
And subscribe, of course.
Cool.
That's it.
Thanks so much.
You got it.
So with that said, you guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, make sure to destroy the subscribe button and the notification bell. Also, feel free to add me on Instagram. I post there pretty much daily, so if you want to be a part of it there, feel free to add me there. As on my second channel, The Graham Stephan Show, I post there every single day. I'm not posting here, so if you want to see a brand new video from me every single day, make sure to add yourself to that. And lastly, if you want a totally free stock worth at minimum $8 and all the way up to $1,600, Webull is going to give you that free stock when you deposit $100 on the platform. So let me know which free stock you get. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time.